Welcome in. Apologies for being late. Have no idea what happened to the computer. Haven't had to make that excuse in quite a long time. But we got it figured out. Computer seems to be fixed. You know what's not fixed? Kentucky football. It is definitely not fixed. Fully
Did it get worse?
fully damaged. It did. I got fooled. I'm gonna just come out and I'm gonna recognize me being me. Let's just recognize it. I was fooled a couple weeks ago, and have now realized that the Tennessee game rant that I went on, I should have just kept it. I should have just kept it going and not let Auburn and Florida fool me because wow. Incompetence over the last two games doesn't even describe how terrible Stoops' ability to coach his football team. Selena, what do you think? It's been
Listen, you know how I felt all season about this.
Yep.
I've questioned every single thing all season from the beginning of this season. And okay, so they squeaked out a win. They beat Auburn. Okay, they beat Florida. Okay, cool. But
we're all black.
Today, Louisville has like a third of a football team. And we gave zero effort. Like nothing. I don't know how our O-line can't block just three rushers.
Oh, that was embarrassing. I mean, there was a lot of embarrassment going on today, but that was.
And
wow.
I'm like, huh? Excuse me? I don't. There's nothing to say. It was awful. It was so bad. There were zero positives in the game. I feel like 40-0 is just God.
Yeah. It's. I mean that you could look at the injuries from both sides. Our defense was slaughtered with injuries. Their offense was slaughtered with injuries. But one team was able to get coached up so that a walk-on 4-string running back and a converted wide receiver to running back could each rush for 100 yards.
Yep.
It's just like it almost seemed like the Louisville Cardinal fan base, they quit on this team yesterday when all the injury stuff came out. And I mean, there were so many Cardinals fans out there who were talking about, we're going to lose this game. It was like our team and coaching staff was on Twitter going, oh, we're just going to show up and win this game. We don't actually have to try because they don't have a football team to, well, no, they had a football team and they had effort and they had great coaching and we didn't have any of it. It was absolutely embarrassing. And I am fully prepared for Coach Evans. I told you so, Rando, you dumbass. I tried to warn you. I'm fully prepared for it, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You were correct. You were 100% correct. If he's talking, we can't hear him.
We can't hear him, yeah.
But it's I don't even know what do we do from here? Truly, like what can the fan base do? We know it has to be done, but what, like speaking as fans, what can the fan base do to even try to apply a little bit of pressure to
Stop
that
buying
director?
Tickets. Stop. No more season ticket. No more season ticket sales. Like stop. Just stop supporting. Stop giving. Stop doing the yearly monthly subscription nonsense, whatever that is, with that bogus crap that comes with it. Stop all of that. Because Stoops today laughed about it and was like, he's not going anywhere. It's like he was okay with the product on the field. And as a head coach, you should never be okay with whatever happened. Like, never, ever be okay with the embarrassment that you put on the field.
Yeah, 100%. And outside of he's got 36 to 38 million reasons to be happy, if you don't got enough pride in you to, I mean, let me find this picture in case folks haven't seen it. Here it is. Let me share this real quick because it was truly. How do you even conjure up this smile after getting completely whooped? Like, look at this. Does that look like a dude?
Because he knows we can't go. He knows, well, in his head, he knows that we can't do anything about it. And he's okay with whatever the hell happened today.
Yeah. And I get I get, hey, I don't care because I'm going to get paid regardless. You can't do anything about it. This is the contract Mitch Barnhart gave me. But
right.
To know that and still have that expression on your face, just to have zero care in the world that you, like, again, you just back-to-back weeks, you've been embarrassed with like, hey, I could potentially turn my legacy around, because BBN would have been bought back in, I think, for the most part, if he beats Vandy and he beats Louisville, or at least gets one of the two, because he already got the Florida win, right? Now it turns out Florida and Auburn wins were a complete fugazi. But to get embarrassed like that, and then to get embarrassed by Louisville in back-to-back years, it's that smile can't happen. It can't.
No.
That little shit-eating grin on your face cannot happen. There's got to be some sort of remorse. And now I know for a fact that your tears crying on Mitch Barnhart's shoulder after the Auburn win was all BS. It was all BS, and it fooled me. I watched it, and I got in my feelings. It was all BS because you don't care. When you look at me like that after a 41-0 loss, embarrassment, when you look at me like that, man, the whole fan base should be doing something to get him out. I just don't know if the season ticket thing is going to be enough, because by the time that stuff renewed and whatnot, it's going to be too late. We're not going to have a coach.
I don't think that Mitch Barnhart doesn't give a shit about social media. He doesn't care about the outrage on social media at all. And the only way for him to understand is if we somehow hit him in the pocket or something like that. But like, he doesn't care about that nonsense.
Yeah, and I don't know what Capilouto can do to, get Mitch gone or early retirement. I honestly don't know enough about that situation. If someone does in the chat.
I don't think, because they're good friends.
Yeah, but I mean, friendship be damned. Like, we got to get to a point where we're winning football games. Like, this is.
Oh, I agree with you. And winning good SEC games, not the cupcake crap that we scheduled that we're almost guaranteed to win or whatever every single year. Winning in the SEC consistently, like, not like that's what we have to get to. We're the
three SEC wins in 2 seasons can't be the answer, and it can't be something that, like, truly, it cannot be something that Mitch Barnhart legit goes back. And it's like, yes, this is 100% what the fan base, what the product on the field. This is what I should be, selling to Big Blue Nation to get folks back to Philip Kroger and what none of it can't make any sense to him. And the only way he can right the wrong of the contract that he wrote to put us in a situation where we can't fire him is to be like, hey, we got Summerall, we got Stein, somebody like that. So we have somebody out there who wants to coach. Like, those communications have already been had, which unfortunately I don't think is accurate, but it's not too late. Some folks are still looking for jobs. And now we need to be able to, sit Mark Stoops down, renegotiate that buyout, and say, we'll give you your $38 million over X amount of years or whatever we can do, even if it's within 60 days. Like, can we get the money somehow, some way, whether it's, through BBN United, the LLC, some way of a loan. I don't know. There are smart people out there who can figure it out, right?
It's just he's got to go.
Yes, it's just he's got to go, right? And boom, and then you can make the splash higher, and then here in a couple months retire, right? That's the only way that Mitch can right the wrong. That is he got lucky with with Cal and Cal going to Arkansas. He's not going to get the same sort of luck from Stoops. I just don't see Stoops going to another job. Who wants him? And I don't see him retiring and saying, like, I'm going to retire and then leave all this money out. It's not going to happen.
No, I don't think so either. And, like, again, even because we're probably stuck with Stoops again for another year. Unfortunately.
It can't. Don't say it. I can't. He can't come back next year. I gotta have full
Barnhart's not
faith.
going to fire him. You know that.
Like somebody's got to put pressure on Barnhart, right? I mean,
Like,
there's
no one's going to do that. Barnhart's not going to fire him. Barnhart's good friends with the president, right? Freaking the one people love Stoops, whatever the names are. They love Stoops.
the Crafts.
Like, yes, they love him. Like, we are stuck with him. And whatever the hell happened today on the field. Because Lord knows that they can't. He has zero talent evaluation skills when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah, I have to think, right? Like the Crafts, for example, or any other big time donor who is contributing a significant amount of money to UK athletics. Like these people have a bunch of money for a reason, right? And they can't sit there and be pushing money towards Kentucky football and getting this return on investment and keep saying, "Oh, I'm going to keep giving millions and millions and millions to it." Like that doesn't make any sense. So at some point they got to be like, I can't keep giving my money to you. And we've already known there's donors who are saying, I've already stopped giving money.
This is true. I just I'd say it can't get much worse, but it really cannot get much worse than today. Like, and people are like, oh, we go back to Joker Phillips era. This was Joker Phillips era shit.
Yeah, we were in the same numbers.
We're back. We're back there.
We're like the last 3 years.
That's going back. We're there again.
Yeah.
Like, we went near, like straight to the bottom again, and that's. I don't know. You just can't. You can't do that. Like, I get it. I get it. Football pays bills. Whatever. Cool, but like at the end of the day, they have to be competitive in the SEC, which is the league that we're in, not only beating these cupcake teams that we schedule every year. Because next year, what is it? Next year we go to 9 games in the SEC. Is that next year?
Yeah. I mean, our schedule next year is a gauntlet, and you're not putting this squad out there and getting.
So we're going to win
have a winning
3
season.
games maybe at this point.
Yeah, you're looking a 5-7 season next year would be, if you compare to what we have right now, and the schedule we had, you'd almost pray for a 5-7 season, which is embarrassing as hell. But if you brought Stoops back, you're just hoping. Yeah, I mean, all right. So, what about this argument of like who are you going to hire? Like, Kentucky is the bottom end of the jobs that are available. And if you hire, or if you fire Stoops, you're not going to get no replacement who's going to be able to do what he can do.
What's he doing?
And you're going to lose recruits. I agree, but you see it out there. I mean, there are still people who want to tell you that Stoops is the best option for Kentucky. And you know what? Like, I completely disagree. I understand why people get there. I was the same way with Cal in football, right? I was like, our quickest way back to a Final Four is Cal finally being able to figure out how to get these freshmen to play in the tournament. We made the change. We got Pope now. I love Pope. It is what it is. But I was not on the we need to fire Cal bandwagon up until he decided to go cheat on us with Arkansas. Now, so I understand like why folks want to say that, but I would ask the same question you just asked, which was how? Like what is going on now? What is Stoops doing right now that would say anybody can't come in there and at least lose games? Like anybody can go into the program and lose football games by 41 points and score 0 points. I promise you, they could figure that out.
Anybody could do that.
It ain't getting worse. So you got to be able to bring somebody in here who can at least rejuvenate the fan base, right?
Not only that, but and like the whole recruits thing, we're losing them now.
When if you
Like,
bring in the right coach, look, I mean, it's Penn State recruiting, and it's a very successful coach. We'll see if he can win at Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech just got a brand new coach, and these recruits are flipping over to them right away. So you go get Will Stein, and maybe you get some Oregon cats who want to come over. You go get John Summerall. He's done pretty well recruiting and getting talent to Tulane. His folks come over. Stoops has lost his fastball.
what was the
correct.
fastball?
I mean, his 10-2 seasons, and if Vic can get back on here, he'll tell us that those were in the down years of the SEC. But yeah, I'm a big Will Stein believer. I wouldn't sleep on Brian Hartline. I would bring Brian Hartline in, and I would be happy with either one of those guys. I mean, honestly, Summerall, Hartline, Will Stein, any of them, I think the fan base will get excited over it. But any of those dudes just mentioned, you can see them bringing in folks who had one point committed to the school, they committed to that coach, and you get one or two to flip, and next thing you know, that domino effect could happen, and we're bringing in talent to Kentucky. And also, even if they don't, like Kurt Cignetti did a great job in the portal at Indiana. He brought some guys over from JMU. And within 2 years, now they're the number 2 team in college football, and they are dominant, right? So don't tell me that it's going to take this long time to rebuild, because that's not the case. You can do it really quick if you get the right guy, okay?
Yeah, Patrick, I just saw your tweet about that. That is pretty interesting. So apparently, UK Athletics has not had a Board of Trustees meeting in December since 2020, and they scheduled one for Monday.
Really?
Who
put that out there? Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
No, I was scrolling on the good old Twitters.
At least UK Athletics has a Board of Trustees meeting on Monday. Okay, so that's, I mean, I guess that's it's got to be the majority, and these folks have to get loud, right? It's got to be people who are, I mean, what can't be missed is all these people with a bunch of money who get these special access to programs and get phone calls when we need to recruit and we need to, to write a check nowadays. Even back in the day when it was like, hey, we need some way to slip this dude some money to get him in here, right?
Right.
These people who are successful and, are prominent in UK athletics when it comes to getting talent, they're also fans. Like they don't donate money to the program because they just got a bunch of money and they happen to live in the state, right? No, they bleed blue also. So they also have to be watching this shit and going, this sucks. I don't want to get 41 piece and skunked by Louisville anymore. Right?
Yeah.
So
no, I know.
Schedule the Board of Trustees meeting and look at Mitch Barnhart in the face, poke him in the forehead and be like, we're doing something about it. You're going to sack up. You're going to fire this dude. We're going to give you some money, and we're going to go find a new person to coach this football team. I'm fired up.
Because the thing
I'm
is,
so
too,
upset.
is if they bring in the right hire, the fan base will be in again. They'll be all in again. Right? You're going to have people that are like, hell yeah, here's some more money, right? They're going to make up whatever money they've lost.
100%. I mean, we just saw it. We saw Mark Pope, and this has been a rough start of the season, so we'll see how it goes. But we saw what happened when he took over for Cal. The whole fan base supported this decision. Listen to this man talk. Broadcasted on SEC Network, sold out Rupp Arena, right? I don't know if he's the best hire, but tell me this exact same thing would not happen if John Summerall got hired as the Kentucky football coach.
Oh, the fan base would be rabid.
You could sell Krog
they would fill up
out.
Freaking Kroger.
Yes, they would sell
Absolutely
it out, especially after what happened today. If you came out and said John Summerall, and he would have to do one press conference or just little hit on whatever KSR. I don't even care. People would listen. I would listen to it if John Summerall came on KSR.
Ugh, asking a lot of me. Asking a lot of you, Rando.
But I would do it if we got a new coach. He would just give me a 30-second snippet, right? The way that he can talk to fans and the way I've listened to him talk to like Aaron Torres and those folks. And all of Krog would be filled out to listen to what he has to say and to listen to the words that he told the fans of like, I'm going to bring back Kentucky football. Again, I don't know if he's the best guy, but I know for a fact we would not lose out on any money next season if John Summerall was the new head coach.
So, Kat, I agree with you, but Summerall's teams don't have a problem scoring. Like, his offenses score, from what I understand, pretty well. So I don't think that's an issue.
And I'm curious what he means. Summerall would be Pope higher for football. Is that like you talking about positive? Like, hey, this is...
Yeah. I think he would. I think he means he would Jesus Christ, English is fucking hard. Rejuvenate the fan base.
Buzzball's getting her. Yeah.
I'm not even drinking. I'm drinking water. Like, Jesus. Like, I'm not even drinking Buzzballs, and I still can't fucking talk.
We got some chat in here. Yeah, same fan reaction. Durant, I agree with you, man. It's I think they would absolutely eat a John Summerall press conference up.
I would be there. I'd go to the press conference like I went to Pope's. Hell yeah, I'd go.
Yeah, something's got to happen. I know it's a long shot, but I just let's see what's Derek say. You think you instantly flip the move with the Summerall hire?
I agree.
Yeah. I honestly, I think any hire that made just a slight bit of sense, you would get a big fan reaction.
Is that Vic trying to log back in?
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. But Will Stein with his connections to Kentucky, his family lives here. He's been a UK fan all of his life. Brian Hartline, now that would get weird because his brother's on staff, but again, UK connections there, and he is coming from Ohio State, who has been dominant for the last 2 years. And then John Summerall is self-explanatory. Any three of those, I think the fan base is going to instantly pick back up its belief in Kentucky football, at least just for the what's new, right? What potentially
at
can
this
happen.
Point means anybody would make us happy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. All right, Coach. We've gone on our little rant. What are your thoughts here? Does Kentucky get out of this? Are we stuck? I don't even know what the next few months looks like, and I don't know how it cannot be a new coach getting hired to Kentucky football.
Well, first and foremost, if you're going to make the move, you got to make the move this weekend. If he's still the football coach on Monday, then he'll be the football coach going into next year.
Board of Trustees meetings is Monday. We heard that today.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, you have to go ahead and if you're going to make the move, you can't wait. I mean, you've got signing day coming up. You've got the first portal coming up. I mean, here's where Kentucky is. And I put this tweet out. For Kentucky football, if you look at it. Our measuring stick games that we kind of measure, like we're not going to measure ourselves against Georgia and Alabama in those games. You're hoping that you can win one of those every now and then. But your 4 measuring stick games all year are South Carolina, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and Louisville. And you just went 0-4.
And we lost them all.
You went. Not only did you go 0-4, you got outscored 177 to 64 this year. 177 to 64. And I get so tired of so many in the BBN talking about, well, this is Kentucky football. Well, no shit, Sherlock, but Indiana's had 3 winning seasons in 30 years, and they go out and hire a new coach, and he goes 10-2 in a playoff, and they go undefeated and playing for the Big Ten championship. Don't tell me it can't be done. Vanderbilt just beat Tennessee and win 10 games for the first time. It can be done. They have to blow the whole thing up. If you bring back this staff, if you bring back your GM, if you bring back your recruiting base, you're asking us to buy into something that's not there. Hey, I'm glad glad Stoops saved the program back when it's time. But the time has come. It's a new world, and you're falling behind in the new world. We have legit, and the whole thing about Stoops and all these wins, it's fool's gold. It's all against a bunch of non-Power 5 teams in non-conference where we don't play anybody but Louisville in non-conference. And in 14 years, he's only beaten 3 teams that finished with a winning record in the SEC. 3 in 14 years. So it's just what it is. I mean, it's not. I mean, you can look at it and say, like, as a Kentucky fan, I'm not taking my if they are so unserious that they bring Stoops back next year. They told me all I need to know that I don't have to waste my Saturdays watching UK football. I'll go do something else because why should I be serious about UK football when they're not? That's my rant.
No, I mean, and I don't know. There's not a single person who can argue that. Like, I mean, you can say, "Hey, I'm out here supporting the players," and I get that argument, and I appreciate that argument. But the players deserve better too. Like, some of these dudes are coming to UK because they don't got another choice. Like, this is the school that they can get playing time at, right? They deserve to be coached.
Supporting these players by paying them awful good. So don't give me that. I don't want to hear that from fans that it's all about going to support these players. We're paying Calzada $1.5 million for him to act like an idiot on TikTok. I don't have to go support him at the field.
Yeah, true.
Vic,
but I mean,
so
we don't want to play.
spicy.
Yeah, we don't want to play in an empty stadium. You know, I mean, like we're gonna play better.
Why not? Why should he? If they bring Stoops back week 1, it should be an empty stadium. It should be. I mean, I don't know what UK fans want. Do they want what they're getting right now, where you're actually getting like the absolute crap product on the field? Think about this. In the last 2 years, outside of playing any Power 5 school, only twice has Louisville given up less than 5 first downs through the air in a ball game. Twice in the last 2 years. You know which 2 games those are? Both of them against Kentucky.
See, I hate you can't even say anything because Vic just out here spitting facts. Like,
yeah,
just straight facts. And every time he does, it's worse and worse of how bad Stoops has actually been, which is awful to say. But like, what did you say? Bully beating what? 3
Vic,
teams?
what was the stat?
14 years
3 teams with winning records. That's
in the SEC.
He's beaten in his 14 years. He's only beaten 3 teams that finished the year with a winning SEC record.
That's awful. You can't. This is
so. Even our 10-2 seasons were a fugazi.
I've been trying to tell you that all those 10-2 seasons were fool's gold. It was when look at who was coaching those teams. I mean, Missouri was good. Georgia was terrible. Like, it's all been fool's gold, and the UK fans buy into it because they think that this is 1970 and you can't compete with the team. NIL has changed everything, and not only is Stoops so far behind, Mitch is so far behind, the whole administration is so far behind. They are so tone deaf. You can't even get the uniforms right. Like, how in the hell does UK play Louisville and it's not blue on one side and red on the other side? No, we show up with chrome helmets and some white dumb uniform. We can't even get that right. That's how bad UK football is. It's an absolute laughing stock.
Delight.
I got nothing. I got nothing to say.
This is a good point. We did beat Penn State. In a bowl game.
They were in
you're right.
School. It was a bowl game that don't mean anything when people sit out. Who cares about bowl games anymore?
That was pre college football playoff, I believe, but that does seem like forever ago, unfortunately. I honestly, I agree with you. We have to make the move now.
You're paying a guy $9.5 million a year, and he's 3-13 in the SEC the last 2 years. 3-13.
Yeah,
that's what I want to look at. I don't care about us beating Miami of Ohio and Southern Miss, where we play this god awful non-conference schedule. But I guess if we don't play them, Stoops doesn't win any game. Like, go back and
That's
look
the
at
thing.
his football.
We don't win any games.
Like it's all fools go. They talk about he's the winningest coach in Kentucky football history. Go look who he's beaten. He's got a terrible record in the SEC. We get 3 wins automatically every year. Take that over 14 years, and guess what? You're already at 42 wins.
Oh my god! It's so this rant needs to be snipped and then just put out everywhere. Okay, Rando, put it on TikTok. You have 2-minute videos. Stick it on there. Put it everywhere.
Yeah,
we are a husband and wife that don't want a divorce because of the bills or the house, and so then it's just miserable. That's where we are right now. Like, there's no love, there's no energy in the program whatsoever, but we can't afford a separation because Mitch gave him a shitty contract. Okay, but you know what? The only people that get hurt in that are the kids, and the kids in this situation are the fans. Like, and it's not just Stoops. Like, Vanderbilt, you go watch the Vanderbilt. You know, we had tickets from our mothership down in Nashville. I gave away to some friends of ours who went down to watch the Nashville Vandy UK, and that was a party atmosphere, and there was an excitement about it, and there was. And I'm sitting there thinking, they were like, they were talking about, hey, they had speakers that worked in the stadium. Like, we are so far behind. Vanderbilt has become a destination place in the SEC. We can't even put it, not in a product, we can't even have a game day experience as good as Vanderbilt. So don't tell me it can't be done. It just has to be done. But we want to live like it's 1980. I mean, it's an absolute joke of what UK football has become. It's literally. And this whole thing about, people, I always heard this. Well, put UK in the ACC and they would have Louisville's record. No, they won. They just got beat by 47 by Louisville. Like, we can't even compete with the teams in the ACC. It's an absolute joke. Like, either disband, if you're not going to fire Stoops, disband the program and become an FCS school. Because it's literally a joke.
Eat down.
I'm done now.
Eat down. No crumbs. No crumbs left. No crumbs left.
yeah. No, I mean, it's Vandy, Indiana. There's two USF. I mean, you can just keep going on and on and on with schools that have instantly jumped up in success in football within a very, very short amount of time, winning big time games. And it's all because someone along the way, AD, donors, fans, all three were like, we're tired of losing, right? Indiana went out and got Kurt Cignetti, who was an older coach and no one else wanted, but he had shown he could win and he could be a leader of men, and look what happened to them. Clark Lee with Vandy, who knows if he's going to have long-term success, but in a very short amount of time, he has absolutely flipped that program around. And Tennessee fans were all season laughing about, hey, you guys can play, but you ain't playing them. But wait till you come to Knoxville to play us, right? We're going to show you.
21,
and they got smacked. And so, Coach, you're 100% correct. It can be turned around, and it can be turned around quickly if you're willing to make the moves and invest the money, right?
It's not just that, Rando. Here's the thing, and there are seminal moments of what changed college football. In the next 2 years, you're in that moment. You can go back to, and there's always teams that were good before these moments happened, and new teams. Now, some teams, made the adjustment and stay good, and some teams couldn't. You can go back to integration. It completely changed college football. There were teams that were unbelievable pre-integration, didn't want to change with the times, and then they fell off. And then you go look at the whole TV deal of the 80s. When I was growing up, you had Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Tennessee. Those were and Nebraska. Those were the teams, the only teams on TV. I had to watch Kentucky on tape delay at 10:30 every night. That's how you do it. But then they sued the NCAA. You changed, and that's what happened. Tennessee fell off at that time because they couldn't make the adjustment. Now, NIL is the third one on this. And the problem is with the way Kentucky runs everything Kentucky's done in the last 10 years has been anti-fan. You took away tailgating area. You took away seats. You won't even put you have a shitty sound system. The game day experience is crappy. Like, everything has been anti-fan. And the problem is, if you keep Stoops, and you keep him, like, next year, what was it, $37 million this year? If you get rid of him next year, it's $28 million. Like, are we really talking about that $9 million is that big a difference? Like, if you keep Stoops, how long do we have to keep him? Do we have to let the buyout get down to $13 million before we'll pay him? And then you're 2 years down the road, and you've missed the window of making changes. You can look at it. Clemson was a dominant football program pre-NIL. Dabo didn't want to adjust. Went on about how bad it was to play players. Where's Clemson now? And this is UK. And there's too many. Like, I get so tired of BBN fans saying, well, we got to go 6-6 to a bowl game. Why the hell do we have to do that? I just told you, Indiana had 3 winning seasons in 30 years. 3. Where was Texas Tech's football program? They've embraced the NIL era. They've embraced what it's all about. They got young coaches that wanted to embrace the entire situation. The ADs do, and now they're all there, and they're in the playoffs. And here's Kentucky. We were hoping to go 6-6 and go to the Cooler Weed Eater Bowl. Like, that's something big and bad. Like, it's just, you're not serious. You're not an SEC program. You want the SEC money, but you don't want to play with the big boys. You want to be back there and just hope they keep feeding you money. We're the Pittsburgh Pirates of Major League Baseball, what we are. Give us our revenue share. We'll get our asses kicked. We won't cause any problems, and we'll be happy with that.
The thing is, as you said, UK is always reactive and not proactive to stuff. So by the time they're doing something, it's already 3, 4, 5 years behind other schools, and we can't catch up. But that's because, as you said, Mitch is so anti-NIL and anti like any of that era of stuff that he's screwing the whole like university and how he's handling all of this.
100%. And Stoops is too much good old boy network. He goes, hires his buddies. We got Eddie Grand being our general manager when other schools are out hiring NFL front office people who work with the salary cap, who understand you can't pay this money to a guy that's going to be sitting on your bench. You got to go out and find. This is the percentage we need to pay for the left tackle, for the wide receiver. I love Marcus Freeman. He goes out and hires all these Detroit Lions, who right now, you look at the Detroit Lions drafts in the last 3 or 4 drafts of the NFL, it's as good as anybody. They go out and they hire smart NFL front office people to run as the general manager, and we go get a guy that was a failed offensive coordinator to run ours because it's Stoops' buddy, and we're paying more money in NIL to sit on the bench that's actually playing.
Yep. And if you bring Stoops back next year, you're talking about the buyout decreasing by $9 million. That you're not bringing Bush back. Like, Bush buyout here in a couple of days is $250K. You pay that, so now you got to bring in a new OC and start all over again. And that means what? I know, Coach, you got your feelings about Cutter Boley, about is he actually the guy or not? Who knows? I think he showed some stuff. I think in this offense and with his coaching staff, you can't get his full potential. So I think he's playing, unfortunately, handicapped. But a new OC, does that mean you're gonna keep Cutter Boley? Now you got to go find a new quarterback, and you got to trust the talent evaluation of this staff to bring in a quarterback out of the portal. That hasn't shown us, or build a new O-line. That hasn't shown that it's going to be successful the next 2 years. So like you got to cut it now. This whole staff, like it's got to go.
Well, here's one.
Brad White coming back. You can make your argument if he's actually a good or DC or not. I don't know, but I think you just need clean slate. You got to have a new coach, and you got to be able to like bring in your guys, just like all these schools we've mentioned before, and how they've turned it around quickly. You got to bring in your own staff. You bring in the players that you wanted at your school, wherever you're coming from. Plus, go get some portal guys. Plus, maybe get some flips, and we build this thing out. And within the next 2-3 years, we're going to go and shock the SEC and do a quick flip, just like these other schools have.
Well, and it's just like this. I can remember back in the early years, I kept telling people he's going to rue the day he said that. You got the offensive line coach talking about that he's rebuilt the big blue wall and all this stuff. And look at the offensive line. Absolutely terrible the last 2 years. I mean, do you have faith if you bring Stoops back, he's going to go out and find a new offensive line coach? No, he's not. And it's been it was the worst offensive line in Alabama history when he's the offensive line coach there. And we bring him back with open arms and give him a raise before the season starts. Like it's
Stoops buddy. That's why.
Yeah, and 100%. And I'm going to tell you, and listen, and this, with all due respect, Stoops built what he got at UK on the back of John Slarman, period. Like, look at when, unfortunately, the death of John Slarman, where the program was, where the offensive line was, and where the program's been since then. Like, Stoops owes half of that money he's getting to the Slarman family, because without John Slarman, Stoops doesn't have it, period. Like, it's almost like the end of Cal, where everybody he hires is some good buddy of his, and it's shitty coaching. It just is.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can't. If you have to find new OCs, new DCs, this is the year to absolutely burn it to the ground and bring everybody. Just fry them all and clean house. Because, yeah, next year's schedule sucks, but it's not okay. You think next year's going to change? You think it's going to turn around next year? No, it's going to be even worse next year. I have no doubt. So just clean house completely. Just everyone's got to go and just build it back.
Yeah, and I mean, a new coach comes in, even if it's not a winning season in conference play, it's a new, like, all these things play. And I don't want to start off with excuses, but all these things play. New coach comes in here, we got a tough schedule, trying to figure this thing out, we go on. With Stoops, it's just, you know what you're getting. You 100% know what you're getting.
You're not going to have a winning record next year. You know that already.
No, so and I am fully there. And if Stoops is our coach next year, and you hear me talking about winning games next year, I need you to come through the screen.
I will fly to wherever you are, and I will smack you personally.
Yeah, because
I'm pretty sure I warned you, Randall.
Yeah, I think everybody. I think everybody.
That's all I'm going to do, because that's what you're doing. You might as well just sit there, not put a cup on, and go catch a major league pitcher. I mean, it's literally Charlie Brown with a football. Like, it's there's no other nice way to say it. Like, if they bring Stoops back, the level of excitement in the football next year is going to be maybe at an all-time low. It would be lower than if they, if you didn't get lucky and Cal left after losing to Oakland. Like, there is no level of excitement. Now, me personally, I'm not sure that Cutter Bowley's an SEC quarterback. But you have him there. I mean, there were times that he was very good this year. But I still think you got to go get somebody in the portal to compete with him. I don't think you can him be your only quarterback that you come back with next year. But I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, here's my question, Randall. And this is something interesting. Do we love Cutter Bowley because of the skills that he has and how he's played, or do we love Cutter Bowley because he's from Kentucky? And that's a Kentucky. That's a BBN problem on both basketball and football, that we fall in love with Kentucky kids, which is great. But in the long run, do we really think Cutter Bowley is a top-of-the-line SEC guy if he was from Omaha, Nebraska, or if he was from Cleveland, Washington? That's my question with Cutter Bowley. And I haven't seen enough, and I would go out and give you the best quarterback I could to compete with.
So I will say that I think the answer is both. I've seen flashes this year where I think he's good. I really like his mindset. Like, I think he's talented, and I truly do like his mentals, where he's been put in a real shit situation, and whether he actually believes it or not, he has come out and supported Stoops and everything. Like, he could have, in this NIL era, he could have gotten very, very loud, right? He could be like, this, I'm not going back to Kentucky if these are the, he didn't do that. He's a dude who's going to do everything he can to win you a football game. Now, does he have the talent to actually do it? Who knows? But I think the answer is both. I like him as a talent, and I don't disagree that we bring somebody in that can help compete. It does make me nervous doing that, though, because that means you're probably spending money in the portal. And if you miss again, or if Cutter is the actual starter, that money could have gone somewhere else. I want to see two things happen. one, you bring a new head coach in who brings in his guy he's confident in, and that means Cutter can transfer, or you bring in the new head coach who truly believes in Cutter and knows he can make him successful, and that's his main focus, and that money gets spread out somewhere else. Now this other kid, Potnowski, or however you say his last name, I probably butchered that, but however you say his last name, he's supposed to be super talented. I've seen his high school film, multi-sport athlete. Maybe he's enough to compete. Saunders is there. But bringing in another quarterback, if you believe Cutter's the guy, I think it just wasted money. I don't want to sit there and purchase a backup quarterback assuming that he's not going to make it the whole season. Just recruit well. So that's my answer to that question. My question to you, Coach, who's the guy? Like of the candidates available, the names that everybody likes is Summerall, Will Stein, Hartline has been kind of a sleeper. There's some other names out there, coaches that have retired for a little bit, been out of the game. Is there a name that you think is the best fit for Kentucky football, or what's your thoughts there?
I want an offensive guy first. So
yeah,
they got anybody that's a defensive coordinator or a defensive guy and throw them out. It's time to get into the 25th century or 21st century of college football and get an offensive guy. We cannot win football games trying to be the Iowa of the SEC. We proved.
Okay, so that eliminates Summerall then. He is out of the picture because he's a defensive guy.
Summerall would only be like my third or fourth choice because of that. I like Stein. I love the guy James Madison that took over for IU coach. I think what he's done over that program has been unreal. And so those would be my two guys, Stein and Kim. I think it's Chesney. And so that would be what I would look at. But I mean, and as you see, I got home and all my dogs are going crazy and my grandkids. The one thing I would say is, the last thing I'll say is, here's the state of the program. We not only lost the Governor's Cup, we got beat by a JV and walk-on team, and we got beat 47-0. That's all you need to know about the state of Kentucky program.
Yeah. So my challenge to you on the defensive-minded head coach and why Summerall wouldn't be successful is Kirby Smart's doing a pretty damn good job at Georgia, right?
I understand, but
and if you get the right guy now, Mike Bobo and Georgia fans have their issues with him. I live with the massive Georgia fan, and I have heard their frustrations. But he's a national championship OC, and he's just good enough to not get to get calls to go somewhere else, or I guess maybe just bad enough to not get called somewhere else. But I think Will Stein's my number one choice. I really like Will Stein. I want him to come here. I think getting, similar to Kirby with Saban, Will Stein getting coached up over there in Oregon and how Dan Lanning does business, I think that can translate over to Kentucky. And also he has ties to the program and the state. So he's my first choice. Summerall would be my second choice just because I think he's a leader of men. And I think he can Summerall, I think, is the dude who can make the Signetti change very, very quickly, and we win games, and we, are relevant within the next 2-3 years. Now, does he equate long-term, decade-long success to sustained success? Who knows? But I think Summerall can make that quick 2-3 year turn at Kentucky just because
everywhere he's been.
Yeah,
everywhere he's been, he's turned it around, and they've been successful.
I'm not against Summerall. Like my biggest complaint with defensive guys, and I also talk about this in the NFL, is when you go out and you hire a good offensive coordinator, you have him going for about 2 years because if he's any good, but he gets a head coaching job somewhere. So you're always turning over the offense. So that's why I prefer. It's all about what if you go in the interview process and you learn about the guys. I'm not saying Summerall can't win at UK. But for me, if it's close, I always lean to the offensive guy, and that's just me personally because I think the game now is an offensive game. Every rule in football that's been put in for the last 20 years favors the offense, and and so it makes it tougher on a defensive guy having to mean, I would not be upset if it was Summerall, one iota. If you ask me how I would rate him, he would be third on my list behind Stein and the guy James Madison, who after Cincinnati left has done nothing but kept James Madison. James is doing for 11-1 this year, being the playoff conversation as one of the group of 5 schools. Now they're probably going to lose out to Summerall and Tulane. But it may be because you've waited. That's why I've been saying all along where UK should have come out 5 weeks ago. There's a lot of reports out there that Summerall's going to be the next guy in Florida. And, I don't know even if UK came calling now if Summerall would put them on hold and see what happens. I guess we'll see what happens with Domino with playing kids and that kind of stuff too. But that would be my list of 3. And there's other guys out there. And I used to hate when they made this argument with Cal when they would say, well, who are you going to get? Well, we can find a lot of guys that can go 5 and 7, and their only wins are 3 non-conference wins, and the other 2 teams fired their coach. So it's not like, we're not like trying to replace Nick Saban here. We're, and I love, like I said, I mean, just go look at the overall record and who those wins are for Stoops to beat. And you take away the 3 non-conference guaranteed wins every year, and it's really not that impressive of a record. I mean, you're 3 and 13. What other SEC school would keep their coach 3 and 13 in the last 2 years and getting embarrassed by Vanderbilt, Louisville the way we did the last 2 weeks?
None. He would have been fired. He would have been fired last year.
Right, and they don't worry about that. They figure it out. I said,
like LSU. LSU fired Brian Kelly.
Yeah, they're paying $54 million. And I know everybody says, well, he has to pay him $60. Okay, we'll turn that $37 million into $70 million and say we'll pay you over 10 years. And he says, no, he doubled your money. Bobby Vanadium, do whatever it takes to get him to go away.
And there's too many ways to do it. Like I said it sort of tongue in cheek, but it's like this whole LLC that was created. Like, hey, you go Google what you use as a tax write-off for LLCs, and retirement plan and buyouts is one of them things. So you can pay this buyout and you could get a write-off and get some of them. Like there's ways to do it. Like you said, offer more money over a certain period of time.
Take 5 million go to Vegas and turn it into whatever you have. What's the difference of paying $37 million and $42 million? Take $5 million and go to Vegas and hope it worked for FedEx.
Yeah, it did. FedEx owned by a Marine, shout out.
But he's black, FedEx is now it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and literally it was saved by him taking all the money out of the bank and going to Vegas. I mean, things happen. Do whatever you have to do. It doesn't matter.
Yep. No, and this by Michael on the screen here, I think is accurate because I was just playing devil's advocate, coach. I would be happy with John Summerall, but I do agree that I would like an offensive-minded coach because I want my next head coach to be successful and be here for a long time. And I don't want to have to sit here and play the whole, hey, we're great with Liam Cohen, and then dude leaves and we have a down year trying to figure this whole thing out. OC's getting plucked or whatever. I don't want to play that game. I want an offensive-minded coach who can, keep a DC in there and for a long period of time. But then if the offensive coordinator changes, it's his system anyways, the head coach system anyways. Not that big of a deal. You mentioned the Auburn win was probably the worst thing for Kentucky football over the next 3 years. And I think that was true. I also think that these last 2 losses, embarrassing.
They've overshadowed that, I think.
I agree, Selena. I think this is the thing that overpowers that win to where, hey, those two wins were nice. The hug with Mitch Barnhart crying at midfield was nice, but you can't lose this way to Vandy, who was the laughingstock of the SEC, and now they just punked us, and we are the new laughingstock of the SEC. And then you go and get punked by Louisville for the second straight year. You can't score a single point.
JV team. I mean, let's hit that hard. I mean, it wasn't even Louisville. It was Louisville's JV team.
Yeah, it was. It was one team that was ready to play, even though they were not at full health, and there was another team who was ready to use their not at full health as an excuse of why they're getting blanked in a very, very important game. If everybody who's involved with the hiring/firing of the head football coach looks at these last two games and says, Mark Stoops had the ability to do something monumental for his legacy at Kentucky, and what we got was embarrassment, getting outscored by 50-some points in these last two games. The games weren't close at any point outside of the first quarter. Why would you think you're going to get a new product next season, right? And if you
answered, talking about Hamden's buyout coming up, and you got to go find a new offensive coordinator. But I mean, be honest here, Randall. If you're an offensive coordinator and you're any good, even average,
you're not going to Kentucky.
I was going to say, are you taking a job with Stoops? Because it's where offensive.
No, because everybody goes to Kentucky and they perform like shit, and they leave Kentucky and they're freaking amazing again.
Yeah.
Well, not only that Stoops is on a short lease, and if he gets fired, you're fired next, right? And if Kentucky sucks, no one, it's all of a sudden now that stain is on your record too. So yeah, no good OC is going to go to Kentucky or established OC. It's going to be somebody who is like, wait, you're going to give me a chance to OC in the SEC, just like Bush Hannen did. He's like, oh, you're going to give me a shot? I'll go to this dumpster fire if you're going to give me a chance to OC in the SEC, and you're going to get the same product, right? And if that's the case, I think you lose a lot of the talent that's on this team or coming in, and you're going to be playing with you're at a disadvantage with the coaching staff and the talent that's on the field.
Here's what bothers me about Mitch Barnhart, and I hate to be mean, but in this aspect that, with what happened at Vandy, with what happened today at Louisville, Mark Stoops should have been met at the end of the end zone like Arizona State's AD did with Herman Edwards and tell him, listen, this is over. Or he should have been Lane Kiffin and left off the bus in Louisville and have him figure out how to get back to UK. But what's going to happen is we're going to go 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even a week before we hear anything from Barnhart. Barnhart should have been talking tonight. Barnhart should have made a statement to the BVN tonight and said one or two things. Hey, this is unacceptable. We're going to go back the next day and look at everything, and the decision will be made. Or he should have said, Mark Stoops is our football coach. But when all you get is nothing but just dead air, then people are going to fill that void, and it's just wrong. This is an absolute failure in all systems of the entire football program. If it was me, I'd have met Mark Stoops coming to the tunnel and said, hey, this was your last game. We'll figure out how to get you the money. But we're not going to hear anything from Barnhart because they don't.
Because Barnhart doesn't have the balls to do it.
No, he doesn't. And you're 100% correct. And I think that's why we got that shit-eating grin on Stoops during that press conference. Where he's just like, I know who I'm dealing with, and when most of us would sit there and take that ass whooping and come in front of a camera and, be dejected, going back to the people who were sitting there beating up Mark Pope for saying, oh, he's clearly lost because he's emotional after he clearly hates to lose. This is what you could have gotten, right? Which is a smile on this freaking guy's face who just got pieced up by your biggest rival, and he's just smiling, saying I ain't leaving, and there's nothing you can do about it. And my challenge to Mitch Barnhart and everybody else involved is prove him wrong. Send his ass back to Ohio. He's going to be rich, fatter, and happier, right? Because he's going to get paid a bunch of money to sit on his rear end, but who cares? Because at least we have a chance to bring Kentucky football to relevance. If you want to say back to relevance, you want to say to relevance, whatever it is, but at least we'll have a chance to be a competitive football team if Mark Stoops is not on the sideline.
Well, before I get out of here, the last thing I'll say is you got to give a big round of applause to Texas A&M fans because they Shiano'd Mark Stoops. We got stuck with him during the college football playoffs, and we're 5-7, looking like idiots. So, big shout out to the Texas A&M fans.
Yeah, and the donors and everybody who and the folks who knew
the
all
donors
the Stoops.
said hell no on that one.
Yeah, all the people who knew the Stoops behind the scenes, and what the shenanigans he got involved in. They're like, hey, we can't bring that to this school. Yep, shout out to them. because
maybe
that
I was
resulted in.
supposed to finally retire, and Stoops can go run off in the sunset in the cornfields of Iowa.
Maybe he just needs to go. I don't know, just sit on a porch in Ohio and whatever, and his
Patrick,
RD1 bourbon and all that stuff can make him money along with our paycheck from UK for the next 5 years.
The problem with that, Patrick, is they've already acknowledged that they said that Stoops had no idea, so they can't go back and fire him for that because they've already addressed that. They've already addressed it and let it slide completely. Like you can't.
Oh, this for cause firing.
Yeah, because of the season being vacated, but they already addressed it and they were like, it happened, whatever.
But that was an NCAA that was an NCAA ruling, right? So like the university can still do something potentially.
But the university did anything about it, right? It's already passed. So like
5 years later.
Yeah, you can't think about it now.
I don't know. Like again, smart people figure it out. Getting your big old book you read over and over and over again at law school and be like, oh, there's a loophole right here. We got you. We got you, fool.
Got you now.
Yep. All righty. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll. All right, Coach. I appreciate you coming on. We're gonna get out of here shortly too.
Out of control.
Yeah, let's hope for some good news, and maybe one of us can come on the show next week as we're talking about how we somehow managed to gather. When I say we, Kentucky donors gathered 38-some million to buy Stoops out. But, well, Selena, I don't know what's going to happen next. I know what needs to happen next. Who knows if Mitch Barner has the ability to not the ability, but the ball sacks, the balls to actually pull the trigger.
Ball sacks, yeah, the ball sack. And I'm gonna say nar. He does not.
And if he doesn't, maybe Mrs.
the board
Kraft
does.
does.
Maybe
yeah,
someone.
the
maybe
board
and
Mrs. Kraft. She's got a big old set of danglers on her that maybe she can come out here and tell.
What she don't? What? No, she don't.
Hypothetical? Not theoretical danglers. But yeah, just somebody with the mental fortitude to be like, all right, this is not okay, and we can move on for Mark Stoops. It's got to happen. # fire Mark Stoops. Get Kentucky football back to where it needs to be. And the last thing I'll say, Mark Pope, buddy, we need Tuesday like you don't believe. We need Tuesday like you don't believe. After what has gone down this weekend, the last 2 weekends with Kentucky football, we need you to handle North Carolina. We cannot be dealing with a double-digit loss in Rupp Arena. All right, get your stuff together. Go show Caleb why he should have came to Kentucky. Yes. Should have kept that commitment to Lexington. We need you. All the boys, Kentucky basketball, we need you. Please, God, show up Tuesday. I can't do this again talking about basketball. Oh, man. Can't do it.
No, I can't. I refuse, Rando. I refuse. My mental health says no. being a UK fan is not healthy.
It's not. Not for my liver. Not for my wrinkles. I'm aging like too quickly. It's not good, but
well, shit. This episode just today sucked as far as that goes.
Hey, so I won't read it out loud, but who sent you that text? Credible? Something?
Yeah. I'd say a little bit later.
Please, baby Jesus. Please. I know I ain't living right, but I just need you right now. I need you right now.
I am a sinner, but please, Lord, do this work.
All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks again for oh my goodness. We got 1,000 people watching us right now rant about Mark Stoops. Yeah. Hi. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Let us know who you want the next coach to be, and who you think the next coach should be. Is it I want Will Stein, but we are going to unfortunately be with Mark Stoops.
We want anybody but Stoops, and we will be stuck with Stoops. This is what this is. Okay, anybody but Stoops and stuck with Stoops. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm tired of watching these other schools just get good
Figure it out
overnight
and then go
or
be successful.
sustain greatness. It's like, whether it's Kirby Smart, even Lane Kiffin, he was in the days pre NIL, and these guys are figuring out how to manage the new college football dynamic, and due to didn't want to, like Dabo's failing, but Nick Saban, he just was like, I don't want to do it. I'm an old school coach. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm
out.
retired,
Bye.
right?
Yeah.
Like why did we not kind of get that from Stoops? And probably because he wasn't successful enough to walk away, and he wasn't going to walk away from all that money. It's just, this is a Stoops. It's a Mitch Barnhart problem, and it's one that, I don't know that Mitch can solve, but hopefully someone above him or parallel enough to where Mitch knows his job's in jeopardy or his legacy or both.
Eli, you hear that?
What's that?
To Eli, you hear that? Do the thing.
Do the thing. Make the call. But all right, what's your thoughts on North Carolina on Tuesday, real quick, before we get out of here?
Jesus Christ.
You don't have faith in that either?
Okay, here's the thing. I have faith in Pope to create a good game plan. There is something off with this team. Something's not clicking, not working. I don't know what it is, but there's something off. I don't know if too many people got paid, and now they've slacked on energy, like Owe admitted to doing, or if there's just not the gel that was there, or what. But something is not right with this team, and it looks like you're right, James. We have no response for Taylor Wilson, but it looks like the offense was designed explicitly around Jalen Lowe and JQ. And with both of them
because
being
they
out,
weren't there,
we have nobody else or nothing else to take its place. And I think that's a massive problem. So, do I have faith? I have faith in Pope, but something is wrong with this team.
You gotta get in the camera, boy. You see? Jay wants to talk ball. All right, so we got North Carolina. We got North Carolina going. What do you think? Give me your one key to beating a good North Carolina team on the spot.
Good coaching.
Yes, that's crucial. We need Pope to step up. What about player wise? What do you think? That's a step up.
Jasper Johnson and Otega Owe.
Those are the two.
Step up. Yes.
Jasper Johnson is their backup point guard. Mm-hmm. Has there been any talk about J-Lo? Any hope of him playing?
I haven't heard anything. Last thing I heard on J-Lo is he was day to day. I have other stuff I can tell you off air, but I can't tell you on air. I can tell you off air about other things I've heard. But last I heard, J-Lo's day to day.
Okay.
Rest of the season day to day.
Now tell me you don't think anything for Caleb Wilson, and I don't necessarily disagree, but if Mo D is back healthy, plus Cam Williams, enough we can put on him to slow him down. Because if you can keep him
Chandler on him though. Chandler was a defensive guy last year. That's not a lot of people for us. Is it a size issue?
I think it's a size issue. I think he just and I think Colin, unfortunately, as good as he's been, he has shown the inability to stay in front of his man. I think you got to put someone who can try to out physical Caleb, and the only two dudes that I think can do that are Mo Diabata and Cam Williams. Yeah, James, I agree. What Cam does for this team is big. So, what do you think, buddy? on top of Otega Owe. That's a given. Like he's got to step up and play
He's
better.
got to be Owe of last year.
Jasper Johnson in that backup point guard role. We'll see how he does. What do you think? Defensively gets it done because it has been a problem. We know you like Malachi Moreno. Mo Diabate came here to be a defensive guy, but who can kind of step up, or do you think needs to step up defensively?
BG.
Oh yeah, BG.
That boy got something lost on the court. He looked like he's out to lunch half the time.
Yeah, I don't know that BG is. You have to play him because Malachi Moreno. That's one thing that we've seen. Is I think he's just still trying to develop his gas tank. You can see him get physically winded out there. He gets tired pretty quickly. And he's a big dude, 7'1", out there running around, playing hard. It's going to happen. But I do think BG's got to be able to figure it out. I don't know.
Has to come in just to be his just to get Malachi rest. Like I don't think he needs to play significant minutes because he is awful right now. He's not playing good at all.
No, agreed.
I want Amari back.
Oh yeah, we all want Amari back, buddy. Yeah, what we would do for Amari Williams, this offense would be completely different with Amari Williams. I think that's
Amari was running the center point, whatever.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Him be able to distribute. I think that's a crucial piece missing from that, and I think Pope's got to be able to figure out who can do that role. I mean, I think Yelovich can potentially do it. She showed overseas.
He can pass really well, so why is he even put in that spot?
And him and Mo D as well. Like I think Mo Diabate and Yelovich playing that point forward role could do a lot for this team, absent of a true point guard. And then you can have Jasper play off the ball, and he doesn't have to worry about trying to play point guard. He could do what he does, which is just score the basketball, right? And if he scores the basketball, you see the rest of his game start playing. He's one of those guys where if the ball goes in the bucket, now his defense steps up, right? He's not a guy who necessarily will be a Cam Williams and just play hard all the time, whether he's getting buckets or not. I also think we just are going to need a special game from Trent Noah. Like I think he's got to be a dude who can come in off the bench, give you 10, 12 minutes, a couple offensive rebounds, and hit a couple crucial threes. Who can really stretch out the floor. He
has to score every time he's in the game.
Yeah,
Trent does. He can't just give you empty scoreless minutes. If he's going to be in the game, because we know that defensively he is not as fast as others. He's a liability. So if you're going to have him out there on the court, he needs to grab rebounds, he needs to hustle, and he has to score, or you can't play him in this game. You can't. Yeah. So he's going to have to make that decision.
He's tall and he can't get a rebound. He's very tall. He's meant to get rebounds.
Trent Noah? What do you think?
I thought you were talking about Brendan Garrison.
No, you're still on Brendan Garrison. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. BJ can't grab a rebound, save his life. He wants him to go over his head every time.
No, but Trent Noah gets in there and he's somebody, Trent Noah, Cam Williams, and last year Ansley. Like these are dudes who play bigger than they are, right? They just hustle because rebounding it's like when Oscar Sheway was here. Like it's just effort going after. He wasn't, the biggest dude out there, but he's just stronger
on this team too to rebound the ball.
Yeah. Oscar on Cal's last year's team with Reed and Dillingham, the way they were shooting the ball, that team walks into the national championship team game. Yeah, but.
Especially on that Kansas game, Rob Dillingham was feeling it.
Yeah, he was. The whole team was feeling it until the second half. But all right, so I think to be able to slow Caleb Wilson down is key. And I think Mo Diabate, Cam Williams are it. If we don't have J-Lo, Denzel Aberdeen, it's going to be guard play. Denzel Aberdeen and Otega Owe have to step up. If we get the same Colin Chandler we've gotten the last couple games, that's all I need from him. If Otega Owe can get back to 15, 16 points a game, plus being, someone who is formidable defensively, and Zell has shown he can go off for 20. I think that's what's got to happen is our guard play needs to step up, and our front court has to just play the way they've been playing, right? Just play the way they've been playing. UNC's got some bigger guys who can stretch the floor out, but they're not super deep. And if we can – if I just watched their last game against Michigan State. They can be physical too. So we can come out there and actually play physical. We will have a chance to win this game on top of being at home and having the Rupp crowd carry us a little bit.
So here's the thing with the guard play. Yes, they can do it individually, but they have to stop playing knee ball and hero ball. Where's the passing? Where's the ball movement?
Yeah.
Why are we dribbling and just trying to drive and throw up a fadeaway from the lane? Move the daggone ball. Like, that is something that Pope was so big about last year, with moving the ball and getting the defense to move. The more your defense moves and rotates, the easier it is to score. And right now,
yes.
it's hard it's hard for us to score because we have no ball movement. The defense just stands in one spot. And we're like, oh, let's check up a three, or let's check up a bad shot in the middle of the lane. Move the daggone ball. Pass the ball. Like, do it. Cut, pass the ball. Cut, pass the ball. Get your defense moving. It's easier to score. Not whatever this hero ball, me ball is nonsense they've been doing. I ain't gonna fly no more.
Yep, 100% agree. All right, Selena, we probably won't be on for the game. What's your prediction? I'll make you go first.
You don't want me to go first.
Yeah.
So just off of this year, because every time we play a big team, we can't hold it together. I don't think they win this game, unfortunately. Listen, Rando. Listen. I am a homie for life. Okay, but Michigan State clocked us. Okay, like it's they just big teams this year. They're not showing up for. They're not. Like, you can't Purdue like exhibition, but that doesn't really count, to be fair. Every time I have to play a big team, not good. And UNC is physical,
I'm hoping,
and they're good. I don't think we're going to win the game. I'm sorry.
This is my last like, hey, Pope's gonna get it turned around. I'll have to, after this, I'll have to see it to believe it. I'll be where you're at. I think we got enough going the second half of the Tennessee Tech game. Let's carry that momentum. We are playing in Rupp. It's not a neutral site game, which we've unfortunately have not been able to figure out how to play yet. The whole travel thing, and it just somehow we don't play well in those environments. But we have played well in Rupp, especially against top ranked teams. I think this is the game that it's figured out. And we do step up enough defensively to win the ball game. And I do think Pope is a better coach than Hubert Davis. So
I think so too. Absolutely.
I think that plays here to where we can out talent them slightly at home, or at least get enough buckets to go in the hoop on top of Pope being a better coach. We win this game. We keep them under 80 points. And we walk away with the W. And this is the springboard to get us to victory. And this is the game. Otega Oweh is the player of the game. I believe it to be true.
Well, I think so. Yes, Pope's a better coach, but Pope has to stop waiting until halftime to make adjustments in game. He has to.
Yeah.
If UNC if they start running and they go on a roll, we're not catching up. Like we can't come back. This team doesn't have that firepower they had last year to come back like they did last year in all those games. He made those adjustments at halftime. So he has to start making in-game adjustments and drop the daggone analytics every single time and go off your gut. Please.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Don't do me this rotation nonsense because the performance drops after so many minutes because that's what you think the book says.
You ride your horse till they're tired.
Yep. You ride your thoroughbreds. That's what you do. And if Colin Chandler's cooking, you don't take him out of the game until he's heaving on.
You let him cook.
Yeah. You just let him go.
He literally can't walk on the court until he's crawling. You say, okay, get 5 minutes and then let's back in. Like,
Yep. I want to see some like old school Cal days where these guys were coming in like, hey, I need out. He's like, no, you don't. You get out there. There ain't no one for you, bub.
for
Keep
example,
cooking.
Dillingham against UNC was begging. I think UNC begging for breaks and not keep running. You're not coming out right now.
Yeah.
He was dying.
You're scoring
And they're like,
buckets.
no,
You're
keep
staying
running.
in. Yep. Yeah, we got to
Like-
see it. All right, buddy. Tell us if we win and who's your player of the game.
We are going to win. Player of the game, Zelly. Denzel Aberdeen.
Denzel Aberdeen, player of the game. I like it. That's a good bet. I am waiting to hear two things. One, what you heard about Stoops, and one, what you heard about J-Lo. I'm dying to hear what you got, your scoop, Selena. But we'll chat here offline. I really appreciate everybody jumping on here. Coach Evans, me, Selena, our vent sessions. This is therapy for us, and we love to get on here and chopping up with the chat. Everybody watching, over 1,000 people join us. It means a lot to us. If you can, subscribe to the channel, Heavy Pour Sports on YouTube. Subscribe to us on TikTok. We're live on TikTok right now too. I don't even know how many people are watching us on there. But we appreciate that. And then
we're on TikTok right now too.
Yeah, we're live on the top. We're gonna get suspended because I go live on
shit.
TikTok and then get suspended for a week because I don't do 50% of our gaming. But
I'll game from there. How's that? I'll game from
apparently your live stream has to have 50% time gaming or you get kicked off.
I'll game from Heavy Pour Sports. We got 10 people watching us. Hey, 12. Hey.
Awesome. Shout out.
No, we have people chatting in there. Oh, that chat doesn't come to here.
It doesn't. So I didn't even think about that. Sorry about the chat.
I'll watch this chat next time. Hey, Jared. And I'll start gaming on here. Y'all, I game because you're wondering. I'm a gamer. I'll start gaming on Heavy Pour Sports. I don't get suspended anymore.
Perfect. Do it because I definitely I don't even know how to do it. But how about we'll go put your baby sister down and watch some more of this War Games WWE. Sound good? Let's hope Triple H doesn't ruin our night like Mark Stoops did. But as always, doesn't matter the outcome of today.
Dominic Mysterio beat John Cena.
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio sucks too. But L's down like always. I don't care what the score was. Louisville will always be little bro. Just because you got a couple wins this year don't mean nothing. Y'all still stink.
We own the entire state. They only own Louisville. That's
right. We own the whole state. They don't own that little dirtbag. Oh, lights are out. Time to go. All right, y'all. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Give it to me.